Okay, so if you've ever poured your heart and soul into a website, you know the number one goal is getting people to actually find it, right? But what if I told you there was a way to speak directly to search engines, like Google, to make sure they don't just see your content, but that they truly get it? Well, we're going to break down something called structured data. And let me tell you, it is an absolute game changer for anyone who wants to stand out online.
You've seen this happen a million times, I guarantee it. You search for something, and yeah, some results are just those plain old blue links. But then others, they just pop. They've got star ratings, pictures, maybe even those little drop-down FAQ boxes. So what gives? Why the special treatment? Well, it's not luck, and it's definitely not magic. It's a strategy, and we're going to peel back the layers and show you exactly how it's done.
All right, here's the plan. We're going to start by looking at how we move beyond just 10 blue links. Then we'll get into the secret language of search. After that, we'll see how this unlocks rich results. That's the good stuff. I'll show you how to put your own data to work, and finally, we'll see how all of this can give you a serious leg up on the competition. Okay, so let's kick things off with a little history lesson. Because to really get why this stuff is so important now, we've got to understand that search engines, well, they weren't always the smart.
Think back to the early days of the web. It was pretty simple, right? Mostly text, maybe a few really slow-loading images, and because of that, search engines gave us that classic list of 10 blue links. But then, bam! The web just exploded. Suddenly we had videos and products and recipes, all this amazing complex stuff, and that created a huge problem. A search engine could read the words 30-minute cook time on your recipe blog, but it had no clue what that actually meant. It saw words, but it didn't understand the context.
So how do we fix that? How do you bridge that gap between just words on a page and actual meaning? How do you tell a machine, hey, this isn't just a random number, it's a cook time? Well, it turns out there's a secret language designed for that exact purpose. And that language is called structured data. The best way to think about it is like a hidden layer of code you add to your website. Your human visitors, they'll never even see it. But it's not for them. It's for the search engine robots. You're leaving them explicit clues about what everything on your page means. So you can stop just hoping they'll figure out your page is a recipe, and you can start telling them point blank.
This is the perfect example. So on the one hand, a human visitor lands on your site and sees this gorgeous recipe page with all the ingredients and your amazing photos. But the search engine, it just sees a big jumble of code. It's lost. By adding structured data, you basically become a translator. You're whispering to the machine, hey, listen up, this page, it's a recipe. And see this number here? That's the cook time, 30 minutes. And this, that's the rating, 4.5 stars. And just like that, the machine gets it. The light bulb goes on.
What you're really doing here is creating context. That's the key word. You're not just throwing information out there, you're handing the search engine a detailed blueprint for your content. And once it has that blueprint, it knows exactly what to show, who to show it to, and even how to make it look amazing in the search results.
Okay, so you're going to put in this effort. What's in it for you? What's the big payoff? Well, this is where it gets really, really cool, because this work unlocks some seriously powerful and eye-catching results.
These are called rich results. And instead of that boring old blue link, your page can earn these incredible special features in search. We're talking images, ratings, prices, even those interactive FAQ dropdowns. I mean, just look at all these different types. You've got them for articles, local businesses, products, recipes, you name it. Whatever you're doing, there is almost definitely a rich result that will make your content leap off the screen.
So what does all that fancy visual stuff actually get you? It's simple, really. A higher click-through rate. When your search result is bigger, more visual, and maybe even answers a question right then and there, people are just way more likely to click on it. It stands out from the crowd. So this isn't just about looking pretty, it's about directly boosting your traffic.
And sometimes it's the little details that make a huge difference. Google itself says that the dates you see in search results are determined by the content and the structured data markup. Think about that. If you publish timely articles or blog posts, just by marking up the date correctly, you're telling Google and your potential visitors that your content is fresh and relevant. It's such a simple way to build trust before they even land on your page.
All right, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds amazing, but how do I actually do it? Do I need to be some kind of coding genius? And the good news is, absolutely not.
You can get started with a really straightforward plan.
It really boils down to just 3 simple steps. First, you just need to identify the most important content on your site. What do you really want to stand out? Second, you're going to use a simple tool to help you generate the code. And don't worry, we'll get to those in a sec. And third, you test it to make sure it's all good, and then you pop it onto your site. That's it.
And like I said, you are not building this from scratch. No way. There are some fantastic and free tools out there that do all the heavy lifting for you. Google actually has its own structured data markup helper, and there are others like the Schema Markup Generator that literally make it as easy as just filling out a form. Seriously, these tools are going to be your new best friends when you're getting started.
Okay, let's bring this all home. Why should you bother with this right now? What's the urgency? Well, it comes down to one simple fact. While most of your competitors are totally ignoring this, you have a huge opportunity sitting right in front of you.
Here's the hard truth, and it's a good one for you. The vast majority of websites, especially in the small business world, are just not optimized this way. They're not doing this. Sure, their websites might talk to their customers, but they're not speaking the language of search engines, and that creates a massive gap in the market, a gap that you can step right into.
And what that means is, by taking the time to do this, you're not just making some tiny little tweak. No, you'll gain a significant head start on your competitors. Think about it. While everyone else is still just a plain blue link, your content is getting the full VIP treatment right there on page 1.
So I'll leave you with this question. Your website is talking to your customers, right? You've worked hard on that. But is it also speaking the language of search? Because making that connection, teaching your website to speak both languages, that might just be the key to unlocking a whole new level of growth.